Hey guys, this video is about travel to Nepal, Kathmandu during COVID. She came from Frankfurt to Kathmandu. How was your experience traveling from Frankfurt to Kathmandu?
Yeah, so everybody who wants to come from out of like a foreigner to Nepal, like not an Indian, like some other, there are this, what are they called, SARC countries?
Yeah, SAARC countries.
This India, Bhutan,
Yeah,
Sri
these ones.
Lanka, and this all this they have free. They don't need a visa to enter Nepal. But all the other countries they need a visa, and normally you will get a visa on arrival. But now due to COVID, the COVID situation, this is they have banished. So there is no visa on arrival. So you have to get a visa prior to your arrival in your Nepali embassy in your country. So what I did, I just emailed them, and then she just gave me an appointment. So I went there and she gave me a visa. That was fairly easy. So I got a visa for 30 days and it cost me 50 euros to do. So depending on where you live, it will be different, the cost. So then I got the visa, and what happened then, like a couple of days after that, Nepal banished all international flights. So then they closed the borders for all international flights. So I already booked my flight, but oh, that was not that. So I went to the airport. I had my flight with Etihad. I went to the airport. I went to the counter. I made a COVID test and I got one done in 6 hours because I had some issues with this other place where I went to. It was closed and blah, blah, blah. So I went to the airport to get the COVID test done in 6 hours, and that cost me like 140 euros to do this COVID test. So next day I'm going to the counter to check in to board for my flight, and then the woman at the counter is telling me that the flight to Kathmandu got cancelled because it was a connection flight. I was flying from Frankfurt to Doha and from Doha to Kathmandu, and then the woman is telling me the flight got cancelled, like at the counter. And I would expect an airline like Etihad to write you an email or something, you know. So that was that. It was so disappointing. And then
Yeah, but the like things are changing every day these days because of the coronavirus. So
Yeah.
they also have to take instant decisions.
Yeah, but they knew for a couple of days, so they could have write me an email. So anyway, then they gave me a phone number to call, and I was talking to the Etihad Airlines, and they just refunded my money. No issue at all there, I have to say. And this is also a tip. You really have to do that, especially now. You will have to book with the airline directly. Don't go through a third party like travel agent and book with them, because getting your money back will be an issue. I know people who are still waiting for their money to get back. They are writing it on their website, so check out the different airlines and see what is their offer. Like every airline has a different policy there. Okay, so then a couple of weeks are passing, the flights are getting cancelled all the time. Then I didn't book with Etihad anymore, I booked with Qatar. So at least they were emailing me, and in the app you can see that it's got cancelled and everything. Maybe Etihad has also an app and I didn't know about that. So, and then yeah, with Qatar I booked a couple of times. They cancelled, we rescheduled, they cancelled, we rescheduled, and blah blah blah. That went on for a couple of weeks like that. And then finally I booked with Turkish Airlines, and then this flight went through. So I went from Frankfurt to Istanbul, from Istanbul to Kathmandu. So I had a visa. The other things you will need to travel is a negative PCR COVID test, of course. So that one I did also. This time I went for a 24-hour test, which was a little bit cheaper. And for Nepal, your test needs to be valid 72 hours before your departure. So if you have a connection flight or a long layover, you keep that in mind. The next thing, you need to fill like a form. They will give you a link. We can link it in the description. You will have to fill this form for the health ministry, I think, for the government. You just have to fill the form. And next thing you need is also a hotel reservation, a quarantine hotel reservation. The quarantine hotel list, which is valid right now, we can link them in the description below. But you will have to check with your embassy if it's got how do you say?
Updated.
Yeah, updated.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay anything right away. You can just book a reservation and you don't have to pay.
I booked a hotel and then I went there. So from the airport, you will have to go through some checks and they will double and triple check all these things. So you need the visa, the hotel booking, the PCR test, and this form. This form you have to fill when you arrive. So you have time to fill that. You don't need that to check in when you are at the airline. They will check multiple times, and then when you arrive, they will divide you in two lines for home quarantine and hotel quarantine. And then you go again through these checks, and then they will sit you down in a taxi, and the taxi will bring you to your quarantine hotel. So you are kind of guarded all the way. But for me, it was not as strict as it was for you, right? You also came once with the plane before, then my flight didn't came, then you had to go back to India and all this nonsense. But when you came, they took your passport away.
Yeah, no, the hotel took my passport.
Yeah, for me they didn't take my passport. So
and the number of hotels also was less, like 8 hotels in from which I had to choose. At that time it was like this. Now maybe they have updated the list. So
yeah, when I chose it was like 30 or something hotels.
Yeah, and they will take you to the hotel themselves in a bus or something, and then you have to stay there for 10 days, whichever hotel you book. But now the most probably the list is updated and there are many hotels from which you can choose.
Yeah, also 5-star hotels in very good places. So the 5-star hotels is like that you book them, like you book them normally, but and with your agent like booking.com or something, and also you will get the meals that you book with them, or you can pay additionally. And then there are normal hotels which don't have a star rating, and with them the prices are like this. You pay 3,000 rupees per day per person, and you will get 3 meals. So you can be very lucky with that hotel. It can be very nice hotel. For example, there was one hotel which looked so nice, something Princess, and that looked so nice because I went through all of them. Yeah, but then I ended up, it looked good on the pictures and everything, then I ended up to book some, reserve something. But then my reservation got cancelled, luckily, because it was horrible, like in my experience, because it was very small and they didn't clean the room and the hotel was so dark and it was not nice at all. So, but they didn't took my passport, so I could just change. So I went to a different quarantine hotel. So that was for my story. Like that. So you stay 10 days in quarantine. Yes.
Yeah, and once you complete your 10-day quarantine, they will give you a form in which it's written that you have completed the quarantine here in Kathmandu. And so it can be important. We didn't face anything where they will ask for the certificate, but it can be important somewhere. And if you are planning to come from India, if you are already in India, or you are an Indian and you are planning to come to Kathmandu by bus, because flights are coming rarely, like once in a week they are coming, and you are in hurry, you want to come by bus. So I will suggest that you don't come. Because first of all, for now at least, during lockdown at least, I will suggest that you don't come, because the bus companies, they will say, okay, you can just go, bring the RT-PCR negative test and then you can go. But it's not like this. Nepal is not allowing people like that. And once you go to the border, they will say that, okay, this is not allowed even if you have RT-PCR negative test. And then they will ask you to go back. After doing a lot of requests, if you are able to go through the border somehow, and then there will be further more checking ups, because it's lockdown and you are not buses are not supposed to go. It's not because you are coming from India, it's just because the buses are not supposed to move, so they will stop you multiple times on the way. And generally anyway, the roads are not so good, so you will struggle because of that. And then they will stop you, and then they will ask you to move out of the bus, and then you have to walk and clear the checkpoints, and then they will bring the bus on the other side. You have to get up, and most of the time they go through these checkpoints in the night, so you have to travel in the night outside, and these days it's raining also, so it can be really difficult, and you have to clear
quite a journey.
Yeah. And this will happen when you are about to enter your city, let's say Pokhara or Kathmandu. These are like tourist attraction, so you might be going there. So in front, in like before you enter Kathmandu, there will be two important checkpoints, and there they will ask you to get down, or and then when you even try to go by walking through, they will stop you, they will ask you to go back, why you are coming, and all those things. But bus drivers and all those they will not tell you because they want to make money. And on the way also they will ask you money, they will say that we have to give it to the at the checkpoints and all those places, so you have to give us money, so they will ask you extra money. And it will not be a nice journey. So
How much did you pay for your bus?
yeah, for the bus from Delhi to Kathmandu, they will say, but you have to change a bus at the border, and bus can be of any type depending on their mercy. Like maybe a nice bus comes from Delhi till Nepal border, and further there can be any type of bus, like depending on them. The price will be from Delhi till Kathmandu these days, it will be 3400 rupees. But on the way you will spend money on the food, and then they will ask you extra money also. So in the end you will end up paying a lot of money, and that will be almost equal to the flight. You better wait for a few days and then get a flight, and it will take you 2 hours, and instead of going through all this mess. Important thing is that you take care of your RT-PCR test when you are coming by flight, hotel reservation, and yeah, and make sure that it's coming in 72 hours. But for all the countries it's not 72 hours. For some countries it's 48 hours also, so you must check these things before you fly. And another thing is, there are, like, this is not related to these times, this is always related, that if you book a flight to a country and you have booked everything, you have visa for the destination country, but you don't have transition visa. So there are few countries which allow the free passes, you can just go like this. But there are few countries which even for transition you need visa, so you look at that also. So you always check these regulations before you start travel, and at least during these times, because these times there are so many regulations, you will never know what is happening. And the best way to confirm things is from the embassies. Like if you are traveling to Nepal, you confirm.
Even that is not sure that they give you the right information. You check with your embassy and with your airline, and yeah,
check with embassy, with your airlines. Like talking with the people, like middlemen, they don't know. Like they can say anything according to somebody they heard from, or all those things. Things are changing every single day, so
yeah, there is this website, Kayak, I think we can also link that. They have a summary on from where you are going and which are the restrictions and regulations for the countries right now. But we don't know how frequently they are updating this. But you can use this as, if you really want to travel or have to travel right now. I mean, we would not advise to travel just like that. We chose Nepal because at that time they were giving visas and flights were going.
Like if you are planning to travel now to Kathmandu, it's closed. The shops are open from morning like 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock only, and after that they are closing it. Before it was even less, they were opening it till 9 o'clock, and everything else is closed. You cannot track, like even if you track they will charge you 3 times or 4 times. So you cannot track and you cannot go to visit places, but we are expecting it to open very soon. So if you have any questions regarding if you are planning to travel to Kathmandu, you can ask us in the comments below and we can update you about that situation. But you have to wear the mask, and you should keep a sanitizer spray to keep you sanitize all the time. And yeah, these are the things you must keep in the mind when you are traveling to Kathmandu, or these days to any other country. Yeah.
I mean, travel is possible, but you know, there are restrictions.
And but we are hoping the Kathmandu will open very soon. From long time they are saying that it will open after 1 week, after 1 week. By the next week, like by 21st, they open few more things, and by that by next week they might open traveling and everything else also.
Okay guys, then safe travels and see you next time. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, if you find it any useful, then give us a thumbs up and see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. If you have any question, ask us in the comment. Namaste.